Okay, so now we're going to get into the actual routine. We're going to start with the neck. All right, we're going to go back to that kneeling position. So we'll come here. You can sit on your ankles, that's fine. If that's uncomfortable for people, you can actually tall kneel here. And you can even do the standing or in multiple positions, so don't worry about if it's too uncomfortable in one spot, but definitely give it a try. If you can sit here even for 5 minutes, get up tall kneeling and move on from there, but try to sit here if you can. All right, starting our routine, we're gonna start with the neck. We're gonna build some tension in our abs. We're gonna make it like a mini plank. We're gonna take our hands, we're gonna try to touch our knuckles to the floor. Once you have this locked in, we're gonna take our chin and we're gonna pull it down towards our sternum. When you run out of space and can't go anymore, we're gonna trace our right clavicle as far as we can. When you run out of space this way, we're gonna take our chin and go straight up towards the ceiling. Slowly come around to the other side. Back down to the opposite clavicle. Slide back across the center. And that is a circle in one direction. We're going to repeat that one more time. Trace that clavicle out to the right. Come on up. Come around. Hit the other side. Chin goes down to the clavicle. Back to center. Noting any closing or opening angle pain. Does it feel crampy? What's going on as I make a circle that way? Now we're going to go to the other side. Maintaining our tension. Chin comes down to the chest, trying to touch the sternum. We're going to trace outwards towards the left. We're going to bring our head up towards the ceiling. The chin is leading the way to the center, all the way over to the other side, trying to touch the right clavicle. Back to center one more time, tracing the left clavicle, chin up to the ceiling, circle around to the other side. Running out of space, the chin goes down to the opposite clavicle, back to center, and then settle in. What are the differences right to left? Do you notice a difference? Is it harder now to go in one direction versus the other? If it is, it gives you some idea of what's going on. Maybe I need some mobility work in those areas. Let's go down to the shoulder blades. So we're going to put our hands down to our side. Building tension with the left arm, we're going to shrug the right arm up. Once you can't go any higher, we're going to peel the right arm, the shoulder forward. Pulling that shoulder blade down towards our butt, pinching it back, and then back up. What we're looking for here is what's happening at the elbow and the hand. Is it bending? Is the wrist coming off? Is my hand coming off? Is my hand swinging to the front of my thigh or the back of my thigh? That tells me there's lack of control in those areas, and you can't separate your shoulder blade from your arm. So as we do this second one, let's pay attention. What's going on here? Can I shrug straight up, keeping this all relaxed? Can I pull forward without my hand sliding? Can I reach down towards the front pocket? Can I pinch back into retraction? And then can I come up and elevate again, finishing that circle? Relax it out. We're going to reverse that circle. So it's shrug up. Now we're going to retract the shoulder blades. We're going to press down, reaching for the back pocket. Pull the shoulder blade forward. And we're going to go one more time. Elevate, retract, press, protract back up to the top to finish the circle. And that is the right side. Let's compare that to the left. Shrug, peel forward, pull down, retract, and back up for the shrug. Coming back around one more time, forward, depression into the front pocket, retracting, shrugging, and back forward. All right, let's bring that backwards. So let's shrug one more time. We're going to retract the shoulder blade now, depress it into the back pocket, bring the shoulder blade forward. Come on one more time, shrug up, retract the scalp, pull the shoulder blades down towards the back pocket, and finish that circle around forward and back into elevation. That is our circle for the scaps. All right, as we move to the shoulder, we're going to start with the thumbs pointing forward. All right, from here I'm going to reach my shoulder forward. I'm going to reach up as high as I can until I feel like I hit a roadblock. I just can't go anymore. I'm going to twist my hand, my arm rather, thinking from the shoulder. Can I twist from the shoulder, not just the hand? And then imagining there's a wall next to me, I'm going to try to clear that wall. I'm going to reach as I twist my arm so that when I finish this circle, my palm is now facing away from me, my thumb is pointing behind me. Let's flip the hand back forward. We're going to do it one more time, paying attention. What's happening at my spine and shoulder? Am I shrugging? Am I twisting? Am I controlling the swell? Obviously, are we looking for opening and closing angle pain? So let's reach on up, hit that roadblock. You're stuck. You're rotating the shoulder. You're reaching back as you continue to wring out the towel that is the shoulder joint. Coming around, biggest circle possible without compensating. That is the goal here. End range training. We're not just doing circles for circles' sake. Thumb points backwards. We're going to take this in the reverse direction now. So we're going to reach that shoulder up until I hit my roadblock. I'm going to rotate the shoulder outwards now as I reach up and around. So I come back into that position where now my thumb is facing forward and my palm is facing in towards me. Turn the thumb backwards, palm away, reach straight back until you hit that first roadblock. Rotate out, come up and around, boom, and then we're coming back down to finish up. Let's head over to the left. We're going to see now what's happening as we compare both sides. Is there a difference? Reaching up, hitting your first roadblock, rotate from the shoulder, reaching over that wall without twisting. Reach, 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 getting all of that end range control. Thumb pointing behind us. We're going to straighten it back out as we reach forward for our second rotation. Roadblock, twist, reach, and rotate as you finish up that second circle. And now we're going to go backwards. So we're going to reach straight behind us. Hit that roadblock, rotate out, come up and around, lock it in, and come down. Last time, rotate, reach, twist the shoulder, come up and around, and there we have it. We finish up with the shoulder. All right, we're going to move to the spine now. And for the spine, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go into cat-camel. All right, so we'll come in here, hands in knees position. Our knees are going to be underneath our hips, and our wrists are going to be underneath our shoulders. All right, once we're set up in here, we're going to do 4 reps global cat-camels, and we're going to do 4 reps segmental. Okay, so let's start with the 4, then I'll explain a little bit more about segmental. So, as we're going to go, we're just going to flex our spine as much as possible. Every bit of our spine is moving. And then we're going to arch our back as much as possible, and that's 1. Let's arch round our back one more time, and arch our back one more time. That's 2. Round our back, arch our back. That's 3. One more time, round, and one more time, arch. All right, now we're going to come settle in. We're going to fully arch. Now segmentally, we're thinking of rolling our spine from the bottom to the top as we round our back. And then we're going to think, as we arch our back, we're going to try to roll our spine top to bottom. So as we're in this position here, I want you to think trying to roll and tuck your tailbone first. And you're going to slowly round your spine up to the middle of your back, up to the upper back, and then eventually out into the neck. And now we're going to start with the neck, and we're going to look up towards the ceiling. We're going to extend the upper back into the middle back, and then eventually finishing out as we roll through the pelvis. Okay, let's do that 3 more times. Let's tuck the pelvis, rounding through the middle back, all the ways into the upper back, dropping the head, reversing that, lifting the neck, extending the upper back. Can you extend the middle back? Can you then extend the lower back and arch? 2 more times. Tuck it in. Round, 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 round. All the ways through. arching our back, top to bottom, upper back, middle back, lower back. Last one, tucking the tailbone, getting through that low back, rounding ourselves into the middle of our back, getting the upper back and neck involved, and reversing. Neck and upper back extend, middle back extends, and then our lower back and tailbone finish the job. And there you have it. We've gone through all the ways to the spine. We're going to come back into the kneeling position, and we're going to work on the wrist. This is where something like our yoga block, your cell phone, if you don't want to break your screen, is really good motivation for these wrist cards. But we're going to put something on our wrist as we make the circle, or if you don't want to balance something, you can actually just grab a hold so you can feel if your wrist is actually turning. So as we take our wrist, we'll make a tight fist and we're going to bend the wrist. So we're bringing it into flexion. Okay? Then we're going to start with the circle inward. So we're going to bring our hand towards the pinky side, and then we're going to extend it back as far as we can, and then we're going to rotate it over to the thumb side, and then we're going to bring it back up into flexion. We're going to go one more time in that direction. Peel to the left, peel backwards, peel to the right, and peel back up into flexion. And now let's reverse the angle. So let's flex again, bring it to the thumb side first, extend your wrist, come out to the other side, to the pinky, and back up. Again, you're noting, is there rotation happening above the wrist? That is compensation. So as we do our last one, flex, bring it to the thumb side, go into extension. What are you feeling? Go down to the pinky side, up into full flexion again, and we'll head to the other side. Flex the left wrist. We're going to start to the pinky side. We'll bring the wrist into extension, coming to the thumb side, bend that wrist all the ways up. One more time, pinky side. Reach back into extension. What's happening on this side versus the other side? Come out to the thumb side, up into flexion, and let's repeat in the opposite direction now. Flex to the thumb side, into extension, out towards the pinky side, up into full flexion again. Last rep, reaching out towards the thumb side, all the ways through extension, coming towards the pinky side, and finishing up in flexion. And there we have it. We're going to come now to the elbows, starting with our palms facing forward. We're going to bend and flex the elbow. I want you to think about rotating your forearm so that your pinky side is actually closer to you than your index finger side or thumb side. From here, we're going to maintain that angle, and we're going to bring our elbows into extension. Then we're going to rotate just the forearm so the creases of our elbows still point forward. And now we're going to bend again. We're going to turn the palms towards us. Come on down. Switch. And back up. That's a circle in one direction. Keep the palms pointing forward now. Index fingers are trying to come inwards as far as possible. And then we're going to fold down first. Now we're going to rotate out and then fold up first. Pinky side's closest to me. Flip. Index fingers are now closest to me. Come on down. Flip back out and come on up. And there you have elbow cars, really trying to get the rotation, not from the shoulder, but from the elbow. For hip cars, we're going to be on our hands and knees here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knee and I'm going to bring it in towards my chest as far as I can, trying not to get my spine to move. From here, I'm going to kick my leg out to the side as high as I can without rotating. What you'll notice is if you cheat, the opposite elbow is going to want to bend. Do not let that happen. So once you get out to the side, you can't go any higher. We're going to try to rotate our hip so that the bottom of the foot points to the ceiling, and then we're going to bring it out into extension. And then we're going to come on down to the ground, and we're going to repeat that process. So let's bring the knee into the chest. We're going to peel it out to the side as high as we can. We're going to rotate that hip, pull it into extension, come on back down, settle in, and let's take this into the reverse angle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kick up towards the ceiling first as high as possible, getting all that extension. Rotate the foot away from, actually kind of pointing towards you so the knee is pointing outwards. We're going to pull that knee into our armpit. Come on back down. We're going to do one more time, kicking straight up. Knee points away from you. Knee pulling into the armpit. Back on down. Settle in, and let's switch sides. Starting in the forward direction, I'm going to pull my knee into my chest, kick on out to the side as far as possible, rotate that leg into extension, settle back down, one more time, forward, out to the side, rotate, coming back up into extension. And how do these two sides compare? Is it crampy? Is there opening or closing angle pain? What do you notice side to side? Is it just less range, more range, better or worse? Try to start to figure out why, how, and where it feels different. Bring it into the reverse angle. The foot goes up to the ceiling. Rotate the knee out away from you. Pull it into the armpit as far as you can without compensating. Set it back down. We're going to go one more time in this direction, kicking on up towards the ceiling, rotating out, pulling it into the armpit, settle in, and finish up the circle. For the knee cars, all right, now this is a little tricky because these are very small, subtle ranges of motion. If we put our finger in the middle of our kneecap, it's a nice hard circular bone here, and we walk our hands down, we're going to feel a squishy spot. And then we're going to feel this large lump of a bone, and that is the top of our tibia, okay? The tibial plateau. That is where we're going to try to get to rotate, and hopefully you'll be able to see this well enough in the video, but in essence what you're trying to do is get that to rotate outwards. So now I'm having my fingers touch the inside, and then I'm going to rotate inwards, so now my finger's on the outside of that ridge. The thigh is not moving, and it's not just ankle motion, okay? We'll assume when we do the ankle, it's going to be moving the ankle without this. Now I want you to focus on rotating from the knee, so it's going to take a little bit of thought. Put your finger right on that spot, and we're going to rotate outwards from the knee. We're going to kick up towards the ceiling as high as possible. It doesn't matter if you could kick your head, kick your head. This is about as high as I can get. Then I'm going to try to rotate that bone inwards, and then I'm going to start to bend the knee again. We're going to rotate out again. Kick on up nice and high. Can't go anymore. Rotate the tibia inwards. Bend, and that's circles going outwards. We're now going to take that right knee, and we're going to rotate the tibia inwards first. Now we're going to kick up nice and high. Rotate that tibia outwards. And then pull it on down. One more time, rotate the tibia inwards, kick up towards the ceiling, rotate that tibia outwards, and bring it down into flexion again. We're gonna pull the foot out in front of us a little bit so that if I gas pedal down, my toes do not hit the floor. I can also use my yoga block here, so now I definitely have freedom of motion at the ankle, okay? From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to gas pedal down so I feel a stretch to the top. Now, we're not going to allow this tibia to move, so you can put your hands here. So we're going to try to feel for no rotation as we bring our toes inwards. We're going to kick upwards as high as we can. We're going to rotate our foot out to the side. This bone still turns up. We're not watching it twist out. We're going to come down towards the floor and around for our second circle inside. Up to the top, over to the pinky side, back down, and around to center. We're going to stay down, and now we're going to go out to the pinky side first, up into dorsiflexion, scooting around to the other side, bring it back down into the gas pedal position, all the ways to the pinky side, up towards you, slide across, back down, and finish up the circle. We're going to do our left side. So remember how this right side felt? Let's see how the other side feels. So if we hook that leg, we put our hand up on that tibial plateau that we talked about. Can you rotate that side out? This is very important for those of you who have knee pain, ACL injuries, meniscus injuries, and stuff like that. If you lack this rotation, it's going to be an issue for you. So let's try to really work to get this back. So rotate it out, kick it up to the ceiling, rotate inwards, bend it down into flexion, going back out one more time, reaching out, kicking up, pulling in, come on down, and keep it twisted in now as we kick up towards the ceiling. We're going to kick out towards the right as we rotate that tibia back down to rotate inwards, kick up to the ceiling, rotate outwards, and come on down. And this is the last joint for us to do, starting with the ankle. Right in here, we're going to get our gas pedal down. We're going to start to the pinky side, bring it all the ways up to the ceiling, coming over towards the big toe side, down to the floor, locking it out into that gas pedal position one more time to the pinky side, up towards you, across to the big toe side, back down into the gas pedal position, and let's reverse it towards the big toe side. Up towards you, across to the pinky toe side, back down onto that gas pedal, one more time, around, up, across, back down, and to center. And there you have our CARS routine. This video, when you first do it, may take a little bit longer, but once you get the hang of it, this probably routine will take you roughly 8 to 10 minutes, not too much to ask, for increased joint health, better range of motion as far as control is concerned, and your assessment for the day, what is going on. If you're doing these today, you're going to notice over the next month or so, this is going to feel much, much better. But say 2 years from now, you go run a marathon and all of a sudden your CARS feel differently. That is how this is an assessment. If you're feeling change over time, good or for bad, you know what's happening. If it's getting worse, what do I need to do to fix it? If it's getting better, great, you know you're on the right track, the feeling and moving better. Hope you guys enjoyed this part. Now that we're done with CARS, let's head over to the Kinstretch portion.